All right, hello guys. Welcome back to my YouTube. And I know I haven't posted in a while. I'm still working on it. I have a couple videos to post, but I haven't got time to post them, but I'll post them once I get time. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to explain couple trades that I took today, and I wanted to show you guys how I was able to profit from those trades and why I took those trades. Okay, so the first trade that we're going to be talking about is going to be the Aussie card. And usually the way I trade is I start with a monthly time frame. I look at demand zones and supply zones, and I'm gonna do a video on demand and supply, right? A different video on demand and supply. So first of all, what I was doing was that I noticed that price was trending right for a very long time. As you could see around this side, we had a push to the downside, we had a push to the upside, right? This is the impulse, this is the correction, and I was expecting this to be what a correction, and then we'll have an impulsive move to the upside. Now, once I identify that direction, I realized that we had a very strong push to the downside around this area, right? And anytime we have a strong push to the downside where market is not making huge corrections, then meaning price might, or there's a high probability that price will keep going down. So what I did was first I was able to capitalize on this buy that we had right here, and I took this trade because we had a supply structure, sorry, a demand structure around the side, right? So this demand structure, I'm actually using the daily time frame, right? So on a lower time frame we could get an entry within this side. So let me move to the 2 hour time frame. So once price hit this level right here, right, the first thing that I was expecting was I was expecting price to break structure, right? Once I have that break of structure, then um I have that confirmation that price is gonna go back up, right? Because usually when I take a trade around this side, right, because usually when I take a trade around this side, then there's a high probability that price might not go into my direction, right? I don't have any confirmation that tells me that price is going to go into my direction. But once I have this break of structure, because if market is trending downwards, right, this is what I need to see. I need to see highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, right, and lows. So once markets start changing in its direction, then you start seeing what lows and highs forming, right? So around this side, and also on the daily time frame, right, when price was going up on the daily time frame, like I said, I was expecting a sell trade off this trade because of how price was trending downwards, right? So I'm just gonna take everything off and move to the daily time frame. Right, so on the daily time frame we have this nice demand, sorry, this nice structure, supply structure around the site, right? And then I'll be explaining this into details when I talk about demand and supply, and then when we talk about smart money concepts into details on how to get specific entries and looking at in-depth market structure. I'm gonna have a separate video for that. But anyways, we had a break of structure around this side, right? Price broke this. This is our strength of weakness that shows us that price is gonna sell, right? Price returned back to this order block, and then price went all the way down. Now on a lower time frame, um we could get different entries within this, right? Because when price hit our level, we usually see Wyckoff schematic forming around this region, right? And also once we had this strong push to the downside, I knew for sure that price was going to go back down. So what I actually did was I took my horizontal array, put a line around this side. I was expecting price to come into this region and then sell, right? We also have a very strong imbalance setting around this side where price needs to fill this side. So price might come back in the future to fill this imbalance that we have right here. But once I had the strong push to the downside and also price push to the downside on my point of interest, that gave me a very strong confirmation that price was going to do what was going to go back down. So I waited for price to come here. I was looking for entries within this side, right? So once price came to this side, I saw a very strong push that broke this level. So I wasn't really sure if price was gonna go back down, right? But then when price came back inside our zone, we had what? We had another break of structure around this side, which gave me a very strong confirmation that price was gonna go what? Back down. Now, I wasn't able to get an entry around this side, but then when price, I was actually waiting for an entry at this other block that we have right here, but price didn't come to this side because we had what? Imbalance sitting around this side, and price filled about half of this imbalance and went down. Now, when we had this second break of structure, I actually had my entry around this side, right? I was able to get my entry around this side, and then I took my trade all the way what? Down. So like I said, I'll be doing specific videos on how to get entries on this type of trade. But I just waited for price to come down, gave me that confirmation that price was gonna go down. Even though I had that confirmation, I didn't want to take a trade with a huge risk, so I had to wait to get that perfect entry in the market.